As you can see, we have the Honor 9X Pro right here. This phone also does have a 48 megapixel camera, which we're going to take a look at and compare it to the Moto G Stylus 48 megapixel camera as well. Right here we do have the Moto G Stylus in my hand. It does have a 48 megapixel camera, which is going to be really nice with a 16 megapixel underneath and another one for a macro shot as well. I'm recording this footage from the Honor 9X Pro, so you can see it has a really nice effect right here. So what I wanted to do is compare these 48 megapixel cameras and test out the sensors, but the Moto G Stylus does have the option to record in 4K. It's 30 frames per second at 1080 and 60 frames per second at 1080, whereas the Honor 9X Pro only has the ability to record in 60 at 1080 and 30 at 1080. Now when it comes to both phones, the Moto and the Honor 9X Pro, you can see there's a bit more detail on the 9X Pro, but the Moto did actually take just as good of a satisfying photo as well. Now we are getting a little bit darker contrast here on the 9X Pro compared to the Moto G Stylus. And on this photo right here, you can see that the paddle of the Moto is a little bit more sharper than the 9X Pro, I guess because of the X aperture mode on there. But you can see when it comes to this photo, we are getting some more punchier colors on the 9X Pro as well, and it doesn't wash out the trees in the background. Now in this one, we are getting lighter colors on the 9X Pro right here on the left hand side, and on the right a lot darker. Now I also really like the software on the Moto because it gives you that vertical option with the action camera, so you can also change the video quality as well, all the way up to 4K Ultra HD, as well as 30 frames per second and 60 on 1080 as well. You get the slow motion where you can change it from 120 frames per second to 240 frames per second, and then you can also adjust the photo quality to a desirable preference of your own. Okay guys, so I have the night vision mode turned on, so I'm gonna take a shot right now. In the nighttime, and then just post these images and see how it comes out on the camera in the nighttime. So let me take a few more. It says hold still. Let me take one going this way. That was pretty cool. Let's take one going this way as well, just to face the other direction. Okay, so now let's check out the Honor's night vision camera as well. So that's actually pretty cool that they offer that feature. Okay guys, so this is the night mode right here for the Huawei. So let me just raise this up and take a few pictures. And compare them. So one, it says wait for 3 seconds. Let's do one this way. Okay, cool. And then let's do one right over here on this corner, like so we could check out the quality right there. All right, cool. Now when it came to these shots here, you can see on the left, that's how it actually looked more realistic compared to the darker blues that we're seeing on the Moto, which it does compensate for.
But in the background on the left hand side of the 9X Pro, it's a lot more detailed and less blown out compared to the Moto, but both photos are actually pretty cool. And there's a deeper blue versus the lighter blue on the Moto, as you can see here, but both actually handle direct sunlight pretty well. And you are getting some cool portrait options here where you can kind of remove the color of the background, which is kind of cool on the Moto as well. And you're also getting a lot lighter photo, as you can see here on the 9X Pro. It just has more detail and you're able to see more of the quality when it comes to the palette and the color science that they actually chose for this device overall. So that's pretty much the biggest difference. But you're gonna get a lot more contrast on the Moto in this photo, and a lot more shadows as well, and a little bit more punchier colors. But there's a ton more detail here on the 9X Pro versus the Moto. As you can see right here, the 48 megapixel actually wins on the 9X Pro. But when it came to the footage, I was actually surprised here because the Moto actually kept those clouds and the puffiness of those clouds and the blues in the background this time, whereas the 9X Pro actually lost all the detail of the sky in the background, which was surprising. And I thought it was going to be the opposite, but it's actually the 60 megapixel on the Moto is actually able to handle background noise better than the 9X Pro.
Now the Moto G Stylus has some really beautiful hardware as well. This back cover is actually all gonna be it's basically gonna be plastic frame, but they say it's the 600 series frame. So you're getting Android 10 on here. So it's a really up-to-date software when it comes to the interface of it. It has that really beautiful edgeless display, as you can see right here. We're getting that dual speaker, which is located at the top. So when you look down, you can see it has the Type-C charging and another speaker located right down below. So that's actually pretty cool as well. Now overall, the Honor is $330. That's the price I paid for it. It's just a really good price for a really good camera setup overall. The 7nm processing chip. You can see that curved glass on the edge right there on the back, and then on the front, really minimal bezel. You can see the pop-up camera as well. Just a really smooth phone right now. It's also running Android 10 right now, so that's actually really cool that it got that update. But I want to take a little bit more pictures right now with this thing, so make sure you guys stay locked in with me. It also has 8 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes of internal storage, so you're not going to be running low on storage when you're taking videos. When it was released, it had 4K, but now that it doesn't, you're going to save a ton of storage when you're taking video, because those 4K videos are huge. But yeah, overall this thing is a really good bargain.